What is up, YouTube? Before we get into the video, I just want to thank y'all so much for your recent support of my spoken word and rap reactions. I put up a poll for what y'all wanted me to react to next, and it was overwhelmingly Harry Mack. I'm not surprised. A lot of his fans have come to my channel lately, and welcome. It's awesome to have you. But I don't only do spoken word and rap reactions, I also do poetry tips and give y'all lessons on how to improve your writing. So yeah, that's actually what this video is going to be covering, specifically rhyme. All right, so I'm gonna probably call this video like Rhyme 101 or Crash Course on Rhyme. We're gonna be covering every rhyme that you can utilize as a writer in order to improve. As for that poll I mentioned previously, if you haven't already, definitely vote on that because that will determine what I react to next. It's looking like Harry Mack, I'm not gonna lie.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Which I'm totally happy about, so yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. As I'm sure a lot of you know, rhyme is a historical trademark of poetry. It's like throughout history, at least in the Western world, you pretty much expected to see rhyme when you read a poem. However, in modern and contemporary poetry, it's often underutilized and underappreciated. And reasons for this kind of go back to the 1900s, in which poets post like World War I kind of realized that things weren't as like cookie cutter as they seemed in terms of like their perspective on life, and that sort of caused them to break out of norms not only in their own lives but also in their writing. So things such as form, meter, and rhyme, I wouldn't go as far as to say got thrown out the window, but became utilized less as a result of them trying to break the molds that they had previously been in as writers. Nowadays though, like in like the modern day, you try to utilize rhyme as a poet and people kind of look at you like you're doing some Dr. Seuss nursery rhymes, children book type of writing.
Why?
And it's like, no, like there's a reason why rhyme has historically been used. Now, I'm not gonna go as far as to say that it should be in every poem or something like that, no, but I'm simply advocating for its use today and why the auditory patterns that can be generated by these rhymes can actually enhance your writing rather than water it down. Okay, so let's actually get started. Here is the most detailed study guide on YouTube on the rhymes you have access to. I'll cover 3 categories of rhyme, although it's important to keep in mind that some rhymes can kind of fluctuate between different categories depending on their use. Rhyme defined by similarity, rhyme defined by stress pattern, and rhyme defined by position in the line. So let's actually begin with the first category, rhymes defined by similarity. So the first and most basic kind of rhyme that fits in this category would be perfect rhyme. It might also be referred to as full rhyme, exact rhyme, true rhyme, the repetition of the same stressed vowel sounds, as well as any consonant sounds that follow that vowel. Examples of this would be true, blue, taker, baker, mountain, fountain. Again, the most basic rhyme you could ever come up with, all right? Next up is imperfect rhyme. You might also hear this referred to as slant rhyme or near rhyme or off rhyme. And these rhymes are close in sound and spelling, but not quite exact. So examples of this might be fate and save, dear and door, seek and meet. You'll notice that some of the other types of rhymes that I'll mention later on in the video are actually specific forms of imperfect rhyme, so keep that in mind. Bars. Ooh, bars.
Show him how to rap.
I don't think he does that. Don't peer pressure.
But I'm not a rapper. Show him how to rap.
He's not a rapper though.
Next up, we have I rhyme. And these rhymes are similar in spelling, but not in sound. In other words, they look like they would sound the same, but they actually don't when read aloud. An example of this would be dove, move, and grove. Notice how they all end in OVE, but they each sound different. Dove sounds nothing like move, and move sounds nothing like grove, all right? Next up is identity rhyme, and these are also called identical rhymes. All this means is a word is being used to rhyme with itself.
Okay. Bubble rap.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Come rap.
Oh. What else you got?
Saran wrap.
Rhyming body with body. You hear this in songs a lot of times where, I mean, if it rhymes, it rhymes, you know what I'm saying? So no issue there. And the next up is rich rhyme. And this is when a word is used to rhyme with its homonym. An example of this would be blue, as in like I blew on the balloon, or like the color blue. 2, the number 2, and then 2 as in also, but then also 2 like I'm going to the store, right? So that would be a rich rhyme. One more example of that would be 1 as in the number 1, and then 1 like I won the basketball game. Next up, we've got assonant rhyme. This is when words have similar vowel sounds but different consonants following those vowel sounds. Examples of this would be dip and limp, or man and plant. Notice how the vowel sounds are very similar, but the consonants following those vowel sounds are different? Yeah, that's assonant rhyme. Next up, we've got consonant rhyme. This is where words have similar consonant sounds, but different vowel sounds. So this would be limp and lump, or bit and bet. All right, so the consonant sounds are similar, but the vowel sounds are different. It's pretty much the inverse of assonant rhyme. And then last up on the types of rhymes that are defined by similarity, we have what's called Macharonic rhymes.
Somebody once told me, hands off my macaroni.
That's a really weird word, but what that essentially means is you take words from one language and rhyme it with words from another language. A basic example of this would be carpe diem, which is Latin for seize the day, and then scar 80 men, which is English. So you can take two different languages, have the words rhyme. That's Macharonic rhyme, okay? The next category we will be covering are rhymes defined by stress pattern. The first on this list would be masculine rhyme. I don't know why they call it that, but it's rhyme between the final stressed syllable of each word. So to and shoe, that fits pretty well. There's only one syllable there, so of course it's gonna be stressed, all right? But then there's also sourdough and cargo. Notice how not all the syllables in each of those words rhyme, but the final stressed syllable does. The dough in sourdough rhymes with the go in cargo. See that? Next up on this list would be feminine rhyme. I don't know why they call it that either, don't ask me. But it's a rhyme between a stressed syllable of each word, followed by rhymes between one or more unstressed syllables in each word. That's a really long-winded definition, but hear me out, I'll explain. Stalking and shocking. Notice how the stressed syllables in those words, stock and shock, rhyme with each other, and the unstressed syllables that follow also rhyme, stalking, shocking. The same can be said about glamorous and amorous. Glamorous, amorous. The stressed syllables in each word rhyme, and the unstressed syllables that follow also rhyme. So that's feminine rhyme. Next up on this list is what is called light rhyme. And this is when you rhyme the stressed syllable of one word with the second stressed syllable of another word. Look at frog and dialogue.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh my God, did you just talk?
I did.
Okay, so frog only has one syllable and that one's stressed, but then dialogue has two stressed syllables. There's the die in dialogue and then there's the log in dialogue. It's the second stressed syllable in dialogue that rhymes with frog. You see that? So that would be an example of a light rhyme. And then finally, we have wrenched rhyme. This is the rhyming of a stressed syllable of one word with an unstressed syllable of another word. So look at agree and buddy. In agree, it's the gree part that is stressed, but in buddy, it's the bud part that is stressed, okay? But there's still a rhyme between them, it's just not on the same stress, if that makes sense. The final category of rhymes that we will be discussing today are positional rhymes. So let's start off with end rhyme. These are also called terminal rhymes. They're the most basic kind because, well, they occur at the end of the lines, like the name implies. So look at, I hate frogs, I like dogs. Boom, right? That's pretty much the standard you're expecting to see when you read a poem. However, there's initial rhyme, and this is where the rhymes occur at the start of the lines as opposed to at the end. So look at cats are bad, bats are good. There you go. All right. Lastly, we have internal rhyme. These are probably my favorite. This is when at least one of the rhyming words, if not more, occur in the middle of the line. Internal rhymes can exist not only within one line, but actually between multiple in a poem. All right. I would highly suggest you use this if you wish to add complexity to the sound in your writing. In fact, if you look at some of the best lyrical raps, you'll notice a lot of them are scattered with internal rhyme. Definitely do that. You'd be surprised what you can make out of it. The one I would actually suggest you use the least if you're worried about people viewing your writing as like nursery songy or Dr. Seussy would actually be end rhyme. For whatever reason, that kind of signals to people who are kind of not fans of rhyme that your writing isn't actually worth reading. I don't know why that's the case. I really hope rhyming can actually take a leap in terms of the contemporary realm of poetry. However, for now, if that's actually what you're worried about, avoid using end rhyme unless you feel like it will absolutely improve your writing. And the one I would suggest you use the most would actually be internal rhyme. Well, that's pretty much it. That is a detailed guide of every rhyme you have access to as poets, as writers, as rappers, you name it. So make the most of your writing and let me know if this helps at all, and I'll make more videos like this, okay? Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment below your thoughts. If you have any questions or need any clarifications on anything, let me know. I actually provided a link to a glossary of rhymes that provided a lot of information for this video. So make sure to check that out as well. Anyway, with that, I am out. Deuces.